Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with Bulldog Hockey, joined by assistant coach Mark Kaufman. And Coach, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I know, glad to be back in Michigan. A long road trip this past weekend out to Mankato.
Oh yeah, it was a long one. We had to stay overnight. We had some bus issues as weather, and some inclement weather as well, and kind of like the basketball team. And it's just that time of year, and got back late Sunday night, but here we are.
I know, obviously, it's been a little while since we checked in with Bulldog Hockey since the first semester, but you guys have played a lot of games here in the recent stretch, and obviously a lot of games left to go here in the CCHA race.
Yeah, we started off after Christmas with the Great Lakes Invitational down in Grand Rapids. Then we moved on to a home series over break against Bemidji State, and we split that weekend and made our way to Mankato last week, which is in southwestern Minnesota, and didn't do so well there, but we had some positive things that come out of the weekend though.
As we go to some of the highlights, we'll start with Friday's game, and obviously Mankato, a difficult place over the years to play and to try to win some games.
It really is. They've got a top-notch program there, and they've been in the NCAA playoffs last 4 or 5 years. And last year we went in there and we swept them, which was one of the biggest highlights of our season last year. But tough place. Yep.
Obviously they got off to a good start here early. Got the goal here early on in the first period to put them on the board first.
Yeah, it was a power play goal. Our penalty kill has been real good as of late. We've only given up 1 goal in 6 games, and but they were able to sneak one through there.
Obviously, this game will end up being 4-2, but maybe a game that's a little bit closer than what the final score might even indicate.
Rob, it really was. The way we looked at the game was that 5-on-5 we outplayed them, and but we had some specialty team problems in terms of the 1 goal against on their power play, but they also had 2 short-handed goals, and which is really unusual, and we got to fix that a bit. But they had an empty netter, but it was a really strong game for us in terms of, like I said, 5-on-5 play, and that was very encouraging moving forward into Saturday's game.
Obviously, here in this game, they led 1-0 going into the second period, and third period, you guys were able to kind of outshoot Mankato.
We outshot them, we outchanced them as well. And there is a small difference between the two, and to be honest with you, we kind of had them on their heels a bit, hemmed in their defensive zone a lot, and we're really wearing them down. And when they got back in their heels, we were able to get some chances and apply more pressure, but they got the empty net goal there at the end, and that's how it ended up.
Obviously, you got a big goal right there to end the second period and give you an opportunity going into the third period.
Yeah, it sure did. And when you're down 2-1 on the road, I mean, you're in a really good spot. There we go. We have our goaltender Logan Stein. Even though he was the recipient of a loss, he made SportsCenter over the weekend because of some outstanding saves, and it was something else to see him on ESPN later that night.
Obviously, he was named to the Mike Richter Award list as one of the top goaltenders in the country, and gave you a chance here as your team tried to battle back here, cut it to 3-2 here in the third.
It sure was a good breakout pass by Antonio Venuto over to Jason Branchow. And when Jason gets on the edge there, he's usually going to pop that home.
Maybe talk about the resiliency of the guys, just to continue fighting in that type of an environment when you got down early.
Yeah, they hung in there. There was no panic, and the guys just kind of rolled with it. And then as the game progressed, we were able to take the crowd out of the game, and it was good. Moving into Saturday's game, we had a quiet confidence about ourselves, and just because of our 5-on-5 play.
You mentioned the goal on ESPN, and obviously we have a clip of that as well.
Yeah.
Logan Stein checking in at number 6 on Saturday morning on ESPN.
It's just an outstanding save here. We're kind of scrambling around, and again, this is a better picture of it from the back end in terms of his ability to go laterally and just make a phenomenal save.
Obviously, you came back game 2 as you tried to bounce back after a tough loss, trying to come back and get the win. And obviously, Minnesota State, a team that's been playing well here as of late, wasn't going to make it easy for you.
No, they had a different idea, that's for sure. But it was a tough game. We got off to a kind of a rocky start. Kind of settled in a bit, but right now we've got some issues with our depth scoring. We're getting some good production out of some of our top players, but we've got to get more scoring, more just quality chances from our bottom 6 forwards as well as some of our defensemen. So until we master that, the games are going to, we're going to be close, but close isn't good enough.
Obviously, they jumped in front here early. You mentioned earlier the penalty kill, 4 for 4 here in this game on the penalty kill.
Yeah, it's been coming around. It's been a sore spot for the most early part of the year, but like I said earlier, we've only given up 1 goal in the last 6 games, and really cut down on the shots against on the penalty kill, and our goaltending's been excellent.
Obviously, Noah Giesbrecht got the start here the second night, and he was coming off a big win over Bemidji State, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, he's finding his form. He's had a kind of an up and down start to the year, and he's slowly but surely kind of finding what he had his form from last year. I mean, moving into the playoffs last year, he did a phenomenal job, and but Logan has really challenged him, and they've got a good competition.
Obviously, it fell behind in this game, but as we mentioned, kind of like the first night, outshot him here in the third period as you tried to generate some scoring chances.
Yeah, we did, and had a couple of breakaways there as well, and just weren't able to get it past the goalie. But their goalie played well, and like I said, they got off to that fast start and kind of put us on our heels the way we put them on their heels. And but again, their ability to get scoring from different parts of their game and different players has really helped their cause this year.
How important is it after a tough weekend like this, dealing with the weather, to try to get back and put this behind you really?
Yeah, we had practice today, and it started out pretty good, and we were kind of exercising some demons, so to speak. And but you got to put your nose at the grindstone and grind away, and you got to have a short-term memory with sports, as you know. And we move forward with a home and home series against Lake Superior this weekend.
You mentioned kind of unique with the home and home series against the Lakers. How do you kind of handle this, playing at home on Friday and then playing up there on Saturday?
Well, as soon as the game's over on Friday, we'll announce that lineup, who we're going to take to Sault Ste. Marie, get on that bus 10:15, and get there, pull in about 2 a.m. We'll have a pregame meeting, around lunchtime, and they go play at 6:07. So it's a quick turnaround. A lot of our guys, they aspire to play professional hockey. This is how it's done. So it'll be good. It's one of those things where if you win, you feel real good going to the game, and if you don't win that first night, you can forget about it and just get right after it the next night. So it should be a good series.
Obviously, you played Lake Superior once back in December, and got another meeting with them up in Sault Ste. Marie again here to kind of close out the season at the end of the year.
Yeah, they're our natural partners and travel partners and rivals and what have you. So to have that close proximity, you can have games like that where they're back to home and away home. So it works out really nice.
What does it take to try to come away with some points this weekend, taking on Lake Superior?
Well, I think our defensive game is pretty stout right now. As I mentioned earlier, we've got to get some scoring from everyone in terms of our lineup, and like I said, we got a few guys that are producing real well right now, and the other guys, they're working extremely hard. They're just the bottom line productivity is just not there. We've got to get that straightened around to garner some wins, get some points.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time, and best of luck as you play at home Friday night and then at Lake Superior on Saturday.
Thank you so much, Rob.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.